The world hides places so incredible 99% of people will never see them in person. These spots aren't just beautiful, they're nature's best-kept secrets. From waterfalls that flow upwards to mountains painted in rainbow colors, Earth's most stunning locations feel like portals to another world. Join me as we uncover Earth's most breathtaking places, where reality looks like a dream and every view tells an unforgettable story. What you're about to see will change how you look at our planet forever. Number 1. Victoria Falls. When you hear that sound, you know you're witnessing raw power. Victoria Falls unleashes 500 million liters of water every minute, creating an explosion of mist visible from 30 miles away. Standing at the edge, you'll feel the ground shake beneath your feet. The local people named it Mosi Oa Tunya, the smoke that thunders. This isn't just another waterfall, it's nature's fury on display. The water drops 355 feet into a narrow gorge, creating the world's largest waterfall curtain. During full moon nights, the mist creates a lunar rainbow, a rare sight that draws visitors from across the globe. Number 2. Zhangye Rainbow Mountains. In China's Gansu province, mountains wear stripes of red, gold, blue, and green. These aren't painted, they're natural rock layers formed over 24 million years. Walking through Zhangye National Geopark feels like stepping into an artist's masterpiece. The colors change throughout the day as sunlight moves across the ridges. Sunrise here is pure magic. The first light hitting these bands of color creates a light show you won't find anywhere else. These mountains aren't just pretty to look at, they're pages from Earth's history book, telling stories of ancient seas, deserts, and climate changes. Number 3. Salar de Uyuni. Bolivia's salt flat stretches farther than your eyes can see, 4,086 square miles of pure white salt. But the real magic happens after rain, when this desert transforms into a perfect mirror. The sky meets the ground, creating an endless horizon where you can't tell what's up or down. During dry season, the hexagonal salt patterns create nature's own geometric art. Local guides know exactly where to position you for photos that play with perspective. At sunrise, the whole place glows pink and orange, reflected twice, once on the ground, once in the water. Number 4. Antelope Canyon. Hidden in Arizona's red desert, narrow stone walls twist and turn, carved by flash floods over thousands of years. Antelope Canyon isn't just a slot canyon, it's nature's light show. Sunbeams pierce through narrow openings above, creating light beams that dance on the curved walls. The Navajo people call this place the place where water runs through rocks. Every hour brings different colors as sunlight plays on the orange-red sandstone. Even the sound here is special. Your voice echoes off walls polished smooth by centuries of flowing water. Number 5. Aurora Oval. The northern lights paint stories across Arctic skies in green, purple, and sometimes red. This isn't just pretty lights, it's solar particles dancing with Earth's magnetic field. Iceland's dark winter skies provide the perfect backdrop for this natural light show. The lights move like curtains in the wind, each display unique and impossible to predict. Sometimes they flash quickly, other times they slowly wave across the stars. Local legends say these lights are spirits dancing in the sky, and watching them, you'll understand why people believe that. Number 6. Hang Son Doong. Deep in Vietnam's jungle lies the world's largest cave, so big it creates its own weather. Hang Son Doong is 5 miles long with sections tall enough to fit a 40-story building. Underground rivers carved this giant over millions of years. Sunlight breaks through ceiling holes, creating light beams bigger than any cathedrals. Inside, you'll find underground jungles, pearl-white cave pearls, and stalagmites taller than houses. The cave's own clouds form when warm and cool air meet, creating an otherworldly mist that floats through massive chambers. If you're enjoying these incredible places, hit that like button and subscribe. It helps more than you know. Number 7. Pamukkala. Pure white terraces hold bright blue pools, stepping down the hillside like nature's infinity pools. These calcium deposits built up over thousands of years as mineral-rich water flowed down the slope. The ancient Romans built a city here, calling it Hierapolis, the holy city. Each pool reflects the sky like a mirror, creating hundreds of natural swimming spots. The white travertine glows pink and orange at sunset, making the whole hillside look like it's made of cotton candy. Warm mineral water still flows today, keeping these natural pools fresh and inviting. Number 8. Socotra Island. Off Yemen's coast, an island exists where plants look like nothing else on Earth. Dragon blood trees spread their branches like upside-down umbrellas against the sky. These trees have lived here for 20 million years, surviving while their mainland relatives disappeared. Bottle trees with thick trunks store water like natural tanks. The landscape looks more like a sci-fi movie set than part of our planet. Nearly 1/3 of plant life here exists nowhere else in the world, making this island a living museum of ancient species. Number 9. Lofoten Islands. Norway's Arctic paradise shows what happens when jagged peaks rise straight from deep blue fjords. Red fishing cabins dot the shoreline, their reflections perfect in the clear water. During summer, the midnight sun never sets, painting the mountains gold for hours. In winter, northern lights dance between peaks while snow blankets the villages. Beaches here have sand white as sugar, but behind them stand mountains sharp as teeth. The contrast between gentle shores and fierce peaks makes this place feel like two worlds merged into one. Number 10. Cappadocia. Central Turkey hides a landscape where soft volcanic rock eroded into thousands of cone-shaped towers. Ancient people carved homes and churches inside these rocks, creating underground cities. At sunrise, hundreds of hot air balloons float between these fairy chimneys, creating the world's most unique sky traffic jam. The rock formations look different from every angle, some like mushrooms, others like giant termite mounds. Hidden churches still keep thousand-year-old frescoes safe inside their stone walls, preserved by the dry desert air. Number 11. Banff National Park. Turquoise lakes reflect perfect mountain peaks like nature's own photo gallery. Lake Louise and Moraine Lake sit like blue gems in rocky crowns, their color coming from glacier flour washing down from above. Wild elk wander through meadows dotted with purple and yellow wildflowers. The Icefields Parkway cutting through the park isn't just a road, it's a journey through postcard-perfect views. In winter, frozen waterfalls hang like blue crystal curtains from cliff faces. The hot springs here bubble up year-round, offering warm pools with mountain views. At night, the dark sky reserve reveals more stars than most people ever see, with the Milky Way stretching horizon to horizon. Number 12. Santorini. White buildings stack up the volcanic cliffs like sugar cubes against the deep blue sea. This Greek island isn't just pretty, it's built on the edge of an ancient volcano crater. Every sunset turns the white walls gold and pink, creating a light show that's famous worldwide. Narrow streets wind between buildings where purple bougainvillea spills over white walls. Black and red beaches show off the island's volcanic history, with cliffs striped like layer cakes with different lava flows. From the highest points in Oya, you can watch boats move across water so blue it looks unreal. Before we jump to the next spot, take a second to subscribe if you want to explore more amazing places like this. Number 13. Zhangjiajie. China's floating mountains inspired the movie Avatar, but the real ones are even more impressive. Sandstone pillars rise through mist like giant stone fingers reaching for the sky. Some towers stretch higher than 3 Empire State Buildings stacked on top of each other. Glass elevators run up cliff faces, giving views that make your head spin. Monkeys swing through trees growing impossibly on vertical rock faces. When fog rolls in, the peaks look like islands floating in a white sea. The world's longest glass bridge stretches between peaks here, testing even the bravest visitor's courage. Number 14. Torres del Paine. 3 granite towers pierce the sky like natural skyscrapers, their peaks often wrapped in clouds. Wild guanacos graze in golden grasslands, while condors soar overhead on 10-foot wingspans. Glacier-fed lakes change color with the light, from turquoise to deep blue to gray. The famous W Trek shows off the park's best views, each turn revealing another postcard scene. Icebergs float in gray lakes like natural sculptures carved by wind and water. Even the winds here are famous. Strong enough to knock you down, they help shape the twisted trees below the peaks. Sunrise turns the towers bright orange like nature's own alarm clock. Number 15. Namib Desert. Red dunes rise higher than the Empire State Building, their knife-edge ridges carved by endless wind. Dead trees stand in white clay pans, black against orange sand like natural art installations. Some dunes have stood unchanged for thousands of years, while others move like waves across the desert. Early morning light makes the sand glow like hot coals, each ripple casting its own shadow. Ancient dead lakes hold clay pans so flat you can see the curve of the earth. The Big Daddy Dune draws climbers who want to run down its steep face, making sounds like airplane engines as sand moves under their feet. Number 16. Marble Caves. Smooth blue marble caves reflect in crystal clear water, creating optical illusions that bend your mind. These caves took over 6,000 years to form, carved by waves in Patagonia's Lake General Carrera. The colors change with the seasons and water levels, from deep blue to soft turquoise. Swirling patterns in the rock look like frozen waves, polished by endless water movement. Small boats drift through cave passages, where every surface glows with reflected light. The marble walls hold different patterns depending on which minerals were present when they formed, creating natural art galleries that stretch for miles. Number 17. Tyne Men Mountain. A natural arch punches through a mountain like a doorway to the sky. The world's longest cable car ride takes you up to trails made of glass bolted to cliff faces. 999 steps lead to the arch, a number chosen because 9 means eternal in Chinese culture. The road up has 99 hairpin turns, earning it the nickname Dragon Road. When fog rolls in, the mountain looks like it's floating on clouds, living up to its name. Brave visitors can walk on glass-bottom skywalk that curves around vertical cliffs, with nothing but clear glass between their feet and a 4,000-foot drop. That's just the start of what Earth has to offer. Hit subscribe, and let's discover more places together. Number 18. Waitomo Glowworm Caves. Thousands of tiny lights dot cave ceilings like a living galaxy underground. These glowworms are actually larvae that create light to attract food. Silent boats glide through dark passages where the only light comes from these living stars. The caves themselves formed over 30 million years ago, carved through limestone by underground rivers. Water still drips from stalactites, each drop adding another tiny layer to the cave formations. The glowworms create threads of sticky silk that hang down like fishing lines, glowing to attract insects that fly toward the light. Number 19. Darvaza Gas Crater. A 230-foot wide crater has been burning in Turkmenistan's desert for over 50 years. Scientists lit it thinking it would burn out in weeks. Instead, it's still going. At night, the crater glows orange against the dark desert, visible for miles. The heat near the edge feels like standing next to a giant oven. Desert creatures sometimes gather at the rim, drawn by the constant warmth in cold nights. The crater sits in a landscape that looks more like Mars than Earth, surrounded by flat desert that stretches to the horizon. Local people say the glow helps shepherds navigate at night. Number 20. Mount Roraima. This flat-topped mountain inspired the movie Up, its summit lost in clouds most days. The sides are sheer cliffs rising 1,300 feet straight up, with waterfalls pouring off every edge. The top is like another world. Black rocks, carnivorous plants, and crystal formations scattered everywhere. When clouds roll in, you can't see the ground below, making it feel like floating on top of the world. Strange frogs and plants live here that exist nowhere else on Earth. Rain creates temporary pools and streams that vanish just as quickly, changing the landscape day by day. The local people believe gods live on the summit, hidden in the mist. Number 21. Angkor Wat. Ancient stones tell stories where jungle meets architecture in Cambodia's heart. Tree roots wrap around temple walls like giant fingers, showing nature's slow take-back of human creation. Morning light hits the main temple's towers, creating shadows that ancient builders planned hundreds of years ago. The whole complex is actually a model of the universe in stone. Faces carved into temple towers watch visitors with mysterious smiles. During rainy season, perfect reflections double every building in still pools. Monkeys play in ancient doorways while orange-robed monks walk paths that millions of feet have smoothed over centuries. The sunset here turns the whole place gold, making it easy to imagine how it looked in its glory days. Number 22. Banao Rice Terraces. Green steps climb mountains in the Philippines, hand-carved by people over 2,000 years ago. These rice terraces follow the mountain's natural curves, creating a living sculpture that changes color with seasons. Farmers still use ancient growing methods passed down through generations. During planting season, the terraces become mirrors, reflecting sky and clouds in thousands of tiny pools. The mud walls holding everything together are stronger than concrete when wet. Local stories say gods helped build these terraces. Looking at their size, you might believe it. Morning fog rolls through the steps like nature's own special effects, making the whole mountain look like it's floating. Number 23. Petra. A narrow canyon leads to a building carved straight into red rock, hidden from the world for centuries. The treasury's columns and decorations were all carved from top to bottom, with no room for mistakes. At night, thousands of candles light the canyon path, creating moving shadows just like ancient times. The whole city's pink-red color comes from iron in the rock, glowing different shades as the sun moves. Underground water systems here were more advanced than most modern cities, channeling flash floods away from buildings. The highest monuments require climbing 800 steps, but the view shows how this desert city once ruled trade routes. Number 24. Reed Flute Cave. China's limestone cave glows with rainbow lights that turn rock formations into magical scenes. Stalactites and stalagmites built up over 600,000 years create shapes that look like familiar objects. Ancient Chinese writers left poems on the walls describing the same formations we see today. Some crystals are so pure they ring like bells when gently tapped. Underground pools reflect every light, doubling the cave's apparent size. The cave got its name from reeds growing outside that people made into flutes. During World War II, locals used the cave as a shelter, leaving behind evidence of their stay. Number 25. Yellowstone. Steam rises from pools colored every shade of blue, orange, and green by tiny living things. Geysers shoot boiling water into the air like nature's timekeepers, some so regular you can set your watch by them. Bacteria create rainbow rings in hot springs, each color showing where different species live. The ground here is actually breathing, moving up and down as underground pressure changes. Bison walk through steam clouds like scenes from another time. Scientists say the whole park sits on a supervolcano, but that's what gives it the heat driving all this amazing activity. Number 26. Meraki Boulders. Perfect spheres of stone dot New Zealand's beach like giant marbles left by ancient giants. These boulders formed over 4 million years, growing layer by layer like pearls. Each one holds crystals in its center, revealed when waves crack them open. At sunrise, wet boulders reflect orange light, looking almost like they're glowing from inside. Some reach 6 feet across and weigh several tons. Local Maori legends say these are food baskets washed ashore from a sacred canoe. Tides continue to uncover new boulders as coastal erosion works its way inland. Each one tells a story of ancient seas and the patience of time. Number 27. Fiordland. New Zealand's fjords cut into mountains like giant slices taken out of the earth. Waterfalls drop straight into the sea, some so tall they turn to mist before hitting water. The region gets so much rain that a layer of fresh water floats on top of the seawater, creating a unique underwater environment. During rain, thousands of temporary waterfalls appear everywhere you look. The sound of water is constant, dripping, rushing, falling from every direction. Dolphins play in dark water that looks shallow but drops hundreds of feet straight down. Here's a quick break to say, if you're loving these hidden spots, join our Explorer family by hitting subscribe. Now, back to our journey. Number 28. Danakil Depression. Ethiopia's hottest place looks like another planet with its yellow, orange, and green hot springs. This is the lowest, hottest, harshest place on Earth where humans work, mining salt like their ancestors. Acid pools reflect weird colors while mineral springs build terraces that look like frozen waterfalls. Nothing should live here, but somehow life finds a way in extreme-loving bacteria. The ground is a patchwork of colors from different minerals pushed up from underground. Scientists study this place to understand how life might survive on other planets. Salt workers cut blocks by hand, loading them onto camel trains just like centuries ago. Number 29. Huacachina. A tiny lake surrounded by giant sand dunes looks like a movie set in the Peruvian desert. Palm trees circle the green water like guards protecting a precious jewel. Local legends say the lake was created by a princess's tears, and maybe that's why it stays full in the desert. Sandboarders ride dunes like surfers on golden waves frozen in time. At sunset, the whole place glows orange and pink. Dune buggies roar over sand waves, creating tracks that wind races by morning. The lake itself is said to have healing powers, drawing visitors for hundreds of years. Number 30. Cenote Suetun. This Mexican sinkhole creates a perfect light show when sun rays hit underground water. A single beam of light travels 90 feet straight down, hitting a platform where ancient Maya once made offerings. The water is so clear you can see fish swimming in the depths. Stalactites hang from the ceiling like stone icicles, still growing after thousands of years. The Maya believed these cenotes were gateways to the underworld, and standing here, you understand why. At certain times of day, the light beam creates a perfect circle on the platform, making it look like you're standing on a spotlight underground. These incredible places remind us that we live on a planet that never stops amazing us. And if you're curious about places that are off limits, check out my video, Top 5 Forbidden Places You'll Never Be Allowed to Visit. You won't believe what's hidden behind those closed doors. If this journey has sparked your sense of wonder, don't keep it to yourself. Hit that like button and subscribe to join our community of explorers. Share this video with someone who needs to see Earth's magic. and let me know in the comments which of these places you'd love to visit first. See you in the next adventure.